Hello everyone, welcome to Cine's Group TV. In this video, I'll be showing you how to fry Gary. How we fry in my village. Well, this is for home consumption, not a commercial one that will use a long pot. But for this one, this is how we fry it. First of all, you're going to be adding the Gary batch by batch, little by little. The reason why you're doing this is so that you will not be overwhelmed by the size or the weight, because this is the most critical phase of Gary frying, especially if the Gary was not properly pressed to, if the water content of the Gary is still high. For example, before you get the Gary out of it, for example, if the water content is still much, if it wasn't properly pressed, it will be sticky to the pot. So that's why you have to keep stirring and stirring. And of course, that's why I'm adding it small. This way it will be easier, it will be controllable. Another basic thing you should consider during this while frying Gary is the fire. It should not be too much and it should not be too low. If the fire is too low, it will be chalky. You know what I mean? It will be so thin and will not form any seed. Of course, stirring it continuously will also prevent it from forming lumps. But if the fire is not there, you can imagine how it's going to feel like powder. But if the fire is too much, of course, you know that it will burn. So that's why normally we're supposed to use firewood that are bigger. Big sticks, like a thick one, so that it will not provide more flames like this. It's just that this is the last batch of this Gary. That's why I decided to make the video. That's why you don't see firewood. Some people use charcoal, but we use firewood in my place. So I know you may wonder how the whole thing will uniformly dry, since I'm adding it little by little, since the first one I've added must have begin to dry. But no, I'm going to fry it until it is completely dried. Now, another thing in frying Gary is adding oil. You can add oil before you press it. You can also add oil after sieving. But in this case, I prefer adding oil during frying because I want to see those yellow dots of oil, on the seeds. Again, if you cannot fry it, while stirring it, you have to leave it for a while, like some minutes, very tiny minutes, so that it will not be chalky. Like I said earlier, apart from fire affect making it chalky, if you keep stirring it without leaving it to form some seeds, it's going to be so powdery, like very light, that if you want to make swallow, it's all going to sink in the water. Imagine pouring powder inside water. It's going to float, but subsequently it's going to absorb water, but it's not going to give you a nice swallow. But if you allow it to have seeds little by little like this, of course you're going to get a very beautiful Gary to use for a nice swallow. Afterwards, if the seed is too much, or if you don't like seed, you can actually sieve it. But trust me, you cannot compare Gary that have seeds to those that doesn't, or to the one that doesn't. So that's why even if you have to seed, you still have something good out of it. Now, the reason why I love the way we make Gary in my place is that we fry it until it's dry in the pot. Unlike the commercial Gary, they fry it halfway. I don't want to say half done, but they fry it halfway and then spread it to dry. Some of them even put it under sun so it will dry. Some don't even bother. That's why that Gary doesn't stay. You can see by the look, it looks light, it looks completely fried. So that's why that Gary doesn't last. But for this one, it's going to stay up to a year. I'm not just saying it, it's something I've experimented on. And right now, I still have the one I brought from home, which is up to a year now. It won't spoil. The taste will still be there and it will be crunchy. And I love crunchy Gary when it comes to sipping. So The a little disadvantage you have is if you want to make swallow, it's going to take time to absorb water. I mean, it will rise, it will require a lot of water, so you're going to add more water than the garri. So by the time it absorbs water, it will be fine. It's not be very hard. But people from my place love hard swallow. So garri in my place is not really that popular. We prefer fufu because it's smooth, when you're doing it, when you're swallowing it, compared to garri. But I love garri. We mostly take garri to farm for sipping. And since I'm in the city, I cannot always have access to fufu, so we can only rely on garri, especially for sipping, because you can't trust those commercial ones. So yeah, you can see. So if you have the muscle, the strength to put everything together, of course, from the beginning you can just pour half basin into the pot and stir it if you can manage. So you can see this is what I got. So after this batch, my brother is going to take over. Remember to like the video and subscribe to this channel for more videos. Thank you.